Hello there, my name is Ross Morrison McGill. I'm Teacher Toolkit on Twitter. You can follow me at my website www.teachertoolkit.me. This is my presentation for SL Teach Meet, which took place on the 14th of May 2013. My presentation was about teacher recruitment, and I was asking the audience if they found looking for work was a common problem, or looking for people to fulfill vacancies was a common problem across schools. The interview process, so currently the positive factors, there's plenty of adverts, some people can be headhunted. The negative factors, the application form is clumsy, there's vacancies left unfilled, there's silly exercises like in-tray exercises and poor feedback that makes the whole process maybe restrict people from moving and looking for a new job. There's also the interpretation of the process, where you might be told that the process is going to be casual, and therefore that could affect your performance. That certainly happened to me. Part of the presentation I asked the audience the following questions, so you can just pause this video and look at these thoughts and think of the answers for your own school yourself. I then asked the audience to stand up and sit down, and there are 10 questions, so I'm just going to put them all through now. You can pause the video. Essentially the questions were to get the whole audience standing up, and if I read them out and it didn't apply to you, you had to sit down. By the time I got to question 10, there was 2 or 3 people left standing out of an audience of about 80 or 90. I can also apply all these to my own practice as looking for jobs, but also recruiting people in current schools that I've worked in. So there's no one solution to recruitment. So another scenario. A teacher in London looking for a new job has 450 schools that they could apply for. If that teacher moved to Northumbria, there are just 48 schools, secondary schools that I'm talking about. So the chances already are reduced by tenfold to find work. So the filling of vacancies according to the individual needs of the school is relative, as it is for the potential application field. So some numbers. We all like statistics. So the DFE School Census 2010, in November 2011, there were 350 vacancies reported for full-time permanent teachers in public funded schools. That's just 0.1%. I'm not sure if I believe that figure. I don't think there was just 350 teachers vacancies left, but we know that just means that it's reported, so there'll be a lot that weren't reported. According to the DFE, so the National Statistics, April 2012, there are 0.9 million full-time teachers or teacher-type people across England. Between 2000 and 2011, the number increased by 32,000, so this is full-time teachers only. So that equates to about 7.9%, and simply more competition. The Equality Act doesn't really matter these days, or it shouldn't do, but essentially the next part is for just some interesting figures. Hopefully that you know that the application process should not ask for your gender or your age. So there's 73.2% of full and part-time teachers who are female across the country. 65% are head teachers are female. 23% under 30, 22% 50 plus. 53% of head teachers are over 50, and 95% of teachers hold degree qualifications. So my immediate thoughts. So again, I'm going to just put these up. You can pause the video and have a look at those, and I shall move on because there are a lot of slides. Across the world, I spoke with lots of other people, so not just in the UK, but also in other parts of the world. So my own experience, I've worked with teachers from New Zealand, Australia, Canada, France, Spain, native countries for the languages that we have in most of the schools, and other places such as Romania, Switzerland, China. We all know Michael Gove has now removed QTS, but the year before he did that, he gave automatic recognition to teachers from Australia, New Zealand, Canada, and the US. So some quotes. So some head teachers. There was no need to look overseas. There are plenty of good teachers in the UK. So to what extent are school leaders having problems sourcing the right teachers for their schools? So again, some more quotes. So the rigorous interview process allows real quality to shine through, but equally it can hinder those people who find the process daunting. Applications are patchy. Those who are unfamiliar with this will fall short. 1 or 2 days to form a judgment can make it difficult to have an informed decision. And the conversations I have go on and on. So I'm going to skip through this, and I would like you to maybe pause the video as I go through them all for you to look at all the quotes that I've collected from people that I've spoken with. In essence, the recruitment process, I believe, requires improvement. So I asked the audience, was it a recurring issue in a few schools, or was it national? And good over half the audience put their hand up. I spoke to a head teacher from Sweden, and this is some of the things that she said at the time. So again, you can pause the video. Essentially, Sweden are banning unqualified teachers and now requiring all teachers to have QTS from 2015. Temporary staff, so teaching agencies, found the same problem, but it's quite obvious regional areas will have different processes, but equally they'll have high numbers or low numbers of applications. There's the Skype interview process, so people that want to go and teach in a British school overseas. The last decade, so how I see teachers that I've interviewed myself, the process, I'd like to think I know what I'm looking for. In short, we may be unaware of something that might be out of reach, so people that are applying for job interviews might not, obviously most people will go for a promotion, maybe not just a sideways move. So when you are looking for something for a step up, you might not know if you're ready, so it's quite important to be self-reflective. But the interview process regardless must be taken seriously, and that's for safeguarding procedures. Okay, so moving through. The problem, consistency, schools not compliant, so that's in terms of the Quality Act. Independent schools, we know, accept curriculum vitae. Internal candidates often considered and appointed, so it kind of tests the water with external candidates, and you could argue waste people's time. So again, I'm going to skip through. So this presentation was a call to arms. So Stephen Locker, who I organise SL Teach Meet with, he has done a bit of research into Bring a Teacher to Twitter, which is on Twitter at BATTT, I think. He says that there's 50,000 teachers who are using Twitter for professional networking reasons, or you could say job hunting. So that's just 5% of the 0.9 million. So solutions. So again, there's lots. You can pause the video as I skip through. The plea that I think for the future of recruitment process, maybe a college of teachers, which was recently discussed online and through the media. A national forum for professionalism, so a set standard for the interview protocol perhaps. The future. So if you do follow me on Twitter, you'll know that I posted this online. The first day received about 5,000 readers, a lot of positive response, and as an outcome with Stephen, we generated My Ed Hunt, which was a job hunting revolution. So it allows teachers to self-advertise that they're looking for work, and also for schools to advertise vacancies free rather than using other sources. I see My Ed Hunt as a free job advert web page, or something like a Match.com, which is a dating version, so schools and teachers could be matched. That could then go through a kind of portal or a wall, which would then go into more secure information such as teacher profiles, video observations, appraisal informations, and this could all be done for free, and create professional networks or regional networks. So My Ed Hunt potentially could source information from Iris, which is video observations. It could have a common framework pushed down from the College of Teachers. Blue Sky, if you're familiar with Blue Sky, that would hold all my CPD records and appraisal information that is generated through my line manager and school priorities. And some of you might know Mike Bostock's 4 Matrix, which is a fantastic resource for collecting school data and generating very interactive and visual graphs to allow you to see immediate impact on student progress. So my headhunt, I believe, once you are in that area, would maybe source these 4 types of data to provide the person at the other end, looking at the teacher or the school, looking at the teacher or the teacher looking at the school, all this kind of information. Finally, we will always have a need for schooling. We'll always have students and a prerequisite for those that teach, so it's always going to exist. Recruiting teachers and helping those move from school to school is much more complex, and it needn't be. It is up to us to secure our unemployment on our own doorstep as well as for the profession. So it's important that me looking for a job 500 miles away or moving to the Far East or wherever it may be, or even if it's just around the corner from where I currently work, it should be a standard process that is easier for the schools, cheaper, and easier for the teacher to move. And that's it. So I hope that all made sense. I apologise, it's very hard to sit on your own and talk to a screen, but hopefully you can see the full presentation, and there are some video links, so I will tweet those too so you can follow. Thank you very much.